Hello, I'm Dr. Hassan Dawid with a very important topic: 5 ethics of research writing. Today, we will talk about 5 ethics of research writing. We are not talking about general ethics of research, we're talking about writing ethics. What should be the writing ethics? What should you be careful about while writing a paper, while writing a book chapter, while writing any kind of article or any kind of paper? What should you be careful about? Let's talk about this. There are 5 ethics that I'm going to discuss in this video. However, there are plenty of other ethics, but I'll just touch base the most important 5 ethics that I believe everyone should know. So let's talk about this. Ethics number 1, or the first ethic. What is the first ethic? Plagiarism. As you already expected, plagiarism will always be number 1. So what is plagiarism? Plagiarism is, in easy words, copy pasting somebody else's word in your paper and pretending as if it's your words or as if it's your research. So how do you avoid it? What is plagiarism? Remember, plagiarism is, in easy words, I'm making it very, very easy for the beginners, copy pasting somebody else's words and not giving proper credit. So what does that mean? It means you always rewrite in your own words. If you like somebody else's information that you want to keep in your paper or in your book chapter or in your research, you will take that information, but you will rephrase it in your own words. But is it complete plagiarism protection? No, you will still give a reference. That's the basic rule. So remember, I have mentioned that before, and I'll tell you again, I'll repeat this again, that how do you avoid plagiarism? Remember the formula. Always rewrite in your own words. Rewrite in your own words and always give a reference. Just remember this, memorize it. So whenever you like something, you want to keep something, some information from any other paper, then you rewrite it in your own words, rephrase it, paraphrase it, and then still give a reference. Many people think that I have rewritten it, I don't need to give a reference anymore. No, that's not correct. You still need to give a reference. And many people think I have given a reference, but I still copy paste because I have given a reference. No, you still have to give proper reference. If you want to use somebody's exact words, then you use inverted commas begin, inverted commas close as a quotation, and then you give a reference. And in your paper, full paper, you should not do more than 2 or 3 of these quotations if you really want to have somebody's exact words. You mentioned that XYZ scientist said this in their paper. Inverted commas begin and close, and then you give a reference. Only this inverted commas part can be copy pasted, but not more than 3 quotations in a full paper of 3,000 words should be copy pasted. So how do you avoid it? If you remember the formula, rewrite in your own words and always give a reference. So I think this is pretty much enough for plagiarism now. Let's move to the second ethic. What is the second ethic? Co-authorship. Co-authorship ethics. What are the ethics for co-authorship? Of course, it's very difficult to find any written material on co-authorship sequence and the ethics of co-authorship. But just remember, ethics actually mean doing what is the right thing to do. So ask yourself, what is the right thing to do? Put your hand on your heart and ask yourself, what is the right thing to do? So co-authorship sequence, always remember, when you have a team and you want people to be co-authored with you in your paper, remember that nobody can be a co-author without having appropriate role in writing, in topic selection, in data collection, in data analysis, in writing and editing. So all parts of paper writing and project should involve this person to be a co-author. If you want to add any of your friends, any of your fellow researcher or classmates to be added to your paper, make sure they help you in topic selection, they help you in editing, they help you in writing, they add something in this paper. Otherwise, you cannot add them to your paper as a co-author. And you also make sure that they help you in data analysis and they help you in data interpretation, tables and figures, and only then you will be able to add them as a co-author. So this is an important ethics that you need to remember. Many people just add other people in their papers just because they are friends. Don't do that. You cannot do that. It can ruin your reputation and it will destroy another person's reputation and career who was added in your paper. So you are responsible for putting your career at risk and other people's career at risk. Imagine if this is exposed and the journal finds out and your employer finds out. What will be your reputation? And remember, ethics is not just about reputation. It's about when nobody is looking at you, you still do the right thing. That's what ethics is all about. So make sure you always justify the co-authorship. If you are being asked to co-author in somebody's paper, you justify the co-authorship. It's good for your career. It's important for your reputation as well, and for your self-esteem and confidence as well, because when we do everything ethically, we feel good about ourselves. It increases our self-esteem, it increases our confidence. We feel good about ourselves, we respect our own selves. This is how you earn your own respect in your own eyes, by doing the right thing all the time. Now, the next ethics you need to remember, the third ethic, is scientific fraud. Stay away from scientific fraud. What do we mean by scientific fraud? Adding wrong or false information deliberately in your paper. The biggest harm you can do to the scientific community, to human beings, to the readers, is by giving false information in your paper. Just to make a point, just to look good, or to impress the journal, falsifying the data and mentioning something that was not true, or mentioning that this medication is good, although in reality it was not good, but you just wanted to impress the journal to get a publication. This is the biggest scientific fraud. It's a career ending offense. I'm telling you, if you're caught, you can lose your license, you can lose your job, you can lose your license, and you can in fact go to jail or prison. This is that of a serious crime. Imagine if you mention some fake or false information about a medication or about a treatment, and that kills somebody's life, or kills somebody, or somebody's life is affected because of that. You could be in legal trouble. And on top of that, will you be able to forgive yourself if you do such things? So always be honest about the data. Whatever is the real data, mention that. Ethics number 4, honesty and integrity. If you remember the ethics number 4, the honesty and integrity, you will never go wrong. Remember, just make a rule that everything I will do will be 100% honest, and I will do everything with integrity. That means I will not add any friend or colleague just because he's my friend in my paper. I will not falsify the information. I will not exaggerate the findings. Maybe something was just extremely significant, or you just change the numbers a little bit. That's a little bit of exaggeration for you, but it's a matter of ethics and it's a serious issue. So remember, be 100% honest while writing your paper, while doing your project. So once you are done with this, you need to move to the next ethics. And next ethics is very important, or the next ethic is the most important point. And this is a very serious point. Paying somebody to write paper for you, paying somebody to complete your project and write your paper for you, and you become the author in that paper. Or purchasing an already written paper by somebody. I know there are some scam companies who do that. They will write papers on your behalf for you, and they charge you a lot of money. There are companies who will sell already written papers, and they will give you the name on that publication, and then they help you in publication in mostly fraudulent journals. And also imagine if somebody is writing a paper who has no background in science and writing a paper or review article or a systematic review for you. So how much knowledge will they have of science? What kind of strong paper will it be? What do they know about science and your topic, your subject? So they will definitely, highly likely, produce bad paper. They will lie and exaggerate, and in the end, who will be in trouble? You will be in trouble. And you will not be able to catch these people, because these people are sitting in different countries. You cannot even trace them, you cannot even catch them. So stay away from this. Don't purchase a publication. Don't pay somebody to write papers on your behalf, and don't sell your publication. Don't sell your publication. If you have written a paper and you want to add other people in your paper just by asking money from other people, this is immoral. This is not ethical. It can put you in trouble. And just ask yourself, is it the right thing to do? Remember the authorship, the co-authorship ethic I just mentioned. Has this person justified the co-authorship? And is it good to take money from somebody to add their names in the publication? Just selling your publication, or writing a full paper for somebody and giving your paper to that person, and he becomes the sole author and you are nowhere there just because you took money? Is it the right thing to do? It is not the right thing to do. You cannot engage in anything that is unethical. Of course, if you are a scientist who is paying somebody in his lab to work for him, and now this employee is writing a paper, but you are also part of this project. So you are paying him to write a paper, but you are also working on that paper. So you make sure you justify the co-authorship. You work with this person, you help him, you guide him, you complete the authorship rules, you follow the authorship rules. So you don't get anything for free just because you're paying him. So you make sure you justify the co-authorship. Then it's fine because he was your employee. You had a signed contract. But selling it to a student who is planning to apply for residency and wants publications, this is not correct. So many students contact us at California Institute of Behavioral Neuroscience and Psychology, and they say, I want to pay you this much. Can you write and publish my paper? No, we don't do this. It's unethical and immoral. We straightforward say no. And I'm telling you once again, we don't do this. We teach you how to write hands-on. We give you a project online. You learn to write and you work on your own paper, and you write your own paper and you publish it. But we will not write a paper for you. What will you learn? If we write a paper for you, what will you learn? You will not learn anything. The purpose is to make you independent in paper writing and publishing so that you don't need us anymore. You don't need anyone anymore. And people cannot fool you anymore in the future that they would charge you thousands and thousands of dollars just to write a paper for you. You know you cannot be fooled now because you know the skill. You can write it on your own. So remember the ethics, and simple formula to remember any kind of ethics is, what would the greatest person would do? Let's say Nelson Mandela. If I were Nelson Mandela, how would I handle this situation? Just ask this question to yourself. Imagine you are Nelson Mandela. How would you handle such a situation? So the ethics number one that we discussed was plagiarism. So make sure you don't plagiarize. You will not copy paste. Nelson Mandela will not copy paste somebody's work and steal somebody's work. You will always rewrite in your own words and give a proper reference and give the proper credit. The second was co-authorship sequence, the co-authorship ethics. Make sure that whoever is being a co-author in your paper, and if you are being a co-author in somebody's paper, you justify the co-authorship. If you are a classmate or if you are a teacher and your students want to add your name in their paper, it's okay, but make sure you justify the co-authorship. It's okay to be in your students' papers. And if they have worked more than you, then you just ethically put your name in the end and let them be the first author. That's the best way of handling this situation. So yes, being a teacher, you can do that. Being an employer, if you are an employer and you have employees, research assistants who are writing papers in the lab for you, you can be a co-author, that's fine. Although you are paying them, but make sure you justify the co-authorship, the idea, the data analysis, the data search, the writing part, some edits, ideas, suggestions. Make sure you justify the co-authorship. Then the ethics number 3 is the honesty and integrity. Make sure everything is done with honesty and integrity. No lies, no deceptions. Everything is crystal clear. And then the 4th point is scientific fraud. Don't give fake or false information. And then the last part, the last ethic we discussed was don't buy or purchase or sell publication from anyone. Don't pay anyone to write papers for you on your behalf. You will not learn anything in this way. Make sure you write it for you, yourself, because it is not ethical to pay others to write papers for you. It's like paying somebody to do your homework. So these are the things you should be careful about. I hope you enjoyed this video. Watch this video again. And if you have any question, comment below. I'll come back and reply to you as soon as I can. Keep learning, keep growing. Thank you.